Hello and welcome to the Jorasco foyer, an area where I have not been too often in the game because there's basically not too much of anything in it apart from just a little respite. And this will be the scene setting for our level 28 episode of Purple Dust Potions. As I tend to do when I make an absolute cock-up of a quest, I've had a little spell of reflection afterwards. Aside from the fact I am a very ordinary player, on the things that maybe I could have done better to avoid the complete disaster that was the last time. I think the single biggest thing, and I'm a little bit in advance here with the recording, so I'm predicting that many of you will already have mentioned this by the time this comes out. The single biggest thing that I've totally been ignoring almost, that I should have been using all the time for a couple of reasons, is the smoke bomb. Now, 12 seconds of displacement we can have it anyway, but invisibility as well that doesn't wear off, or at least I'm pretty sure the invis doesn't wear off with when we attack something, so that's good defensively as well. But the other important thing to note here, well, low cost, and it also it's instantaneous with the casting one when it's quickened, and it's a yellow guild leaf one, so it would totally have done the job that I was using this crappy little is it corrosion level 2 acid spell to achieve, you know, to get us back into orange and that kind of, to juggle the colours around as we needed, and I just haven't been using it. So really an oversight on my part. Between that and the old Stone of the Savant, thanks to Klitsch for noticing that I wasn't using that, hopefully we can give the opponents a bit of a better run for their money. Otherwise, this persistent habit I have of not moving when shooting or targeting something, that always gets me into trouble. Of course, if you're standing still, the archers are going to smash you to pieces, so sort of jumping around a la this kind of thing while shooting the spells would be ideal. I'm not very good at it, but got to try and do that a little bit more if we want to survive on the more difficult quests. I had a quick look in one of the recent Reaper quests. We went through Wayloon. Actually, the one that I recorded was by far the worst in terms of our performance in there. The rest of them we went pretty well sailing through on Reaper 2. Did very nicely. So I was reasonably pleased with that. Just disappointed that the one that got aired was a shambles, basically. What else have I got? Yeah, feat at level 28. I couldn't see anything that really stood out, so I went for spell power poison. A little bit more for our two spell-like abilities, which we do use quite often. And also 5 more on the crit damage of all spell schools, which includes the acid that is our flagship one, obviously this life. I don't think there's anything else. Gear, obviously there's not going to be anything else from here to the cap. I think we, as mentioned before, we have 1, 2, 3 plus the scepter epic things. The rest is just heroic, but they're decent heroic gear, so not terrible. I think we've got most of our key elements, positive, negative, acid obviously covered in some way, shape or form. And as you'll know if you've been following along, this this little set that we've made with the epic gem of many facets represents my first foray into this field of crafting with any character. So that was a nice little milestone to cross. Yeah, I think that's about it. So we're gonna have a go at one of the Jorasco quests. I guess the first one, because we haven't done any of the chain in epic, not in heroic either by the looks of it, because that quest giver is still yellow. I've done everything I wanted on the Evening Star sagas except for the Stormhorns. The reason I'm not doing a Stormhorns one here is obviously for the recorded ones we tend to put the difficulty up a bit, just in the interests of challenge and keeping the videos entertaining, because nobody likes to see somebody just flying through everything, do they? So I think we'll try and do this on 4, so we'll be 2 levels underneath the effective level of the quest for this. And given that it's quite likely to fail, I prefer not to have to run halfway up the Stormhorns to get back to the quest we were doing. So that's why we're doing one of these and not the Stormhorns for this particular episode. Given that most of our opponents in here, if not all, are liable to be undead, the flash freeze will be super helpful, because the only thing the colour spray will probably work for will be Reapers. Now Reaper 4 on this level, effective level 30, I'm expecting some fails from the crowd control, and against Reapers that could be quite costly. If we can manage to freeze packs of things, I expect them to be smashed up quite handily between the elemental combo and the 2 multi-vials that we've got. Plus we've got the 2 spell-like abilities, that one to finish things off, and this one, well, aside from hitting quite hard, it can also keep us safe with the, where is it, the enhanced thing there that gives us temporary hit points every time it's triggered. We do actually have a point to spend. Oh, I'm saving for another point to expand the wellspring. That's what I'm going to try and do next. Other than that, I think you can see I might as well cover it. I've just picked up some defensive stuff, mostly saving throws, reflex saves. Actually, spot and search are not redundant on this build because they're both class skills for the Alki, so he can find and detect and find secret doors and things. 6 on reflex save, on fortitude save, and no fail on a 1 is very nice. Our saves aren't bad, not bad at all. None of them are rotten because the bottom 2 are linked to intelligence, as I covered earlier in the series. They have an auto-granted feat at level 2, insightful reflexes for intelligence to reflex save, and then you can choose one at 8. It gives you a choice between the fortitude save and the will save. I went for will because our wisdom is basically a dump stat this life, whereas con is always your second stat on any character. And it seems to be going quite well, that. And then a couple of points of PRR and MRR. Our MRR for a caster in robes is actually very good. The PRR is decidedly not good. But that's now 25 points above where the robe cap should be, because we've got the esoteric set for another 10 points, which would take the cap up to 60, and this stone adds a maximum of 20. Well, when you've got 20 alchemist levels, that gives you 20 MRR onto whatever your total is, because as well as boosting the MRR, it's boosting the cap as well, which is really important. Okay, I think that's about it for the waffle. Where is the quest? This one here. This one noteworthy for being the only one, as far as I know, that has Gary Gygax narrating. Okay, so I'm going to try and pay attention to the
tomb opens up into a larger
reaction state and do less less frogging if I can, because every time we do the frog it takes us out of pyrite.
The holy symbols of the sovereign host.
Oh, hello. That's half the health gone already. Come on. Yeah, the heals are so clunky. Having to target yourself each time you want to do a bottled heal. They're very good, the heal, but just so clunky. So I think you can see there, the outgoing damage is very decent, especially if the targets are frozen. The problem we have is, well, twofold. First of all, we have to get close to freeze the things, which is never a good idea when you've got damage coming in like this. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so just too much. And again, we maybe there was something that made a save there. I guess there must have been in and amongst that. So I think Reaper 2 is pretty okay for most things, but 4 is a bit too much for us. We take heavy damage. Maybe something to do with the fact that the fortification is low for epic. I think maybe that should be up a bit higher. But yeah, I think we got fairly well slaughtered there. So maybe I can take advantage of the fact we don't have to walk too far to the quests. Go and do the ship thing again. Stop trying to be an ambitious bugger and cut it down to 2 like it should have been. I think 2, looking at what happened there, 2 is probably ample challenge for us. You just have to wait until the spell points tick back up. This is one thing that's bugging me a little bit. I'm not quite sure why they've done it, but when you stepped into a Reaper quest, it was a really convenient way of putting all the things back to top. So if you could have fun going through a wilderness area, blasting things, knowing that your mana would be fully restored as soon as you stepped into the quest. Now I'm really stingy with the mana in the wilderness areas, knowing that I'll have to go with whatever mana I get in there with. So a little bit of a shame, and of course it makes for situations like this where you can't just go straight back into the quest. You have to wait and either drink broccoli juice from the inn, or come and use your ship buff bar to speedily restore the mana. So yeah, I think we could say that was as comprehensive a defeat as you are ever likely to see. Perhaps, not perhaps, definitely, I'm guilty of overdoing the freeze strategy at the expense of where I could be, just hitting from distance with the vials. The vials are plenty capable of annihilating stuff from distance without needing me to go in close and do the freeze. I could and probably should have changed long since to using the freeze as a no shit thing if things are around me, and just hitting from distance wherever possible with the vials. I mean, we've seen that from as early as level 10, where they were just annihilating whole groups from distance, weren't they? So we know how effective they can be. and we've got something like 700 acid power in Reaper now. Yeah, 736, so it's not shabby by any means. So that should be more than enough, I think, to total stuff from distance without needing to take silly risks and you know, of crowd controlling stuff that's in melee range. Talking of silly risks, I haven't done the Death Ward, have I?
This place was once hallowed.
Here I can't really avoid being in melee range, so we can move. Use that. That's another thing I didn't do last time. I didn't use the smoke bomb. I've just spent 5 minutes lecturing myself on the virtues of the smoke bomb and then didn't bloody well use it, did I? Get him. Go on. Come on. That's more like it. I think this is probably our level. 4 is pushing it. I think he could do okay on 4 if he was supported by a tankier character. He certainly has the damage output for it, but can't take it when it comes back at him. Come on, get rid of that, yes. I'm trying everything defensively. Shard Storm, Smoke Bomb, the lot. Okay. We didn't stop the Reaper, did we? That's a problem. And we're Plague now. Get displaced. Die. I think we've got some more coming down here, haven't we? Come on then. Okay. I think there's a trap down here. Having said that, we've got evasion, so happy days. Can we just get rid of that thing from distance? Okay. Let's do the bomb. Get us back in there. Oh my god, look at this. Yeah, there's no holding those guys, is there? That was just panic pressing of multi-vials and just hoping we deleted them before they deleted us. Those crowns do not mess about, do they? Okay, Reaper. I think I just missed it stupidly with my crowd control there. I don't even think it failed, I just missed. Okay. Crowns all over the place here. Come on, get them. No, they're gonna get us. Trying desperately for the heal. Get that thing out of the way if we can. Should be using the frog as well, sod it. Oh, let's use the frog on you. Come on. against problem things like that that are going to cut me in two when they hit me, I should totally be using the frog. Never mind the staying in orange. The reaction state's no good if you're dead, is it? So yeah, a lot to learn, I think, for me as a trainee alchemist. I did, oh my goodness, I did read a comment in the forum by somebody who was obviously a seasoned alchemist player, and he mentioned the fact that it had taken him sort of 6 or 7 lives to get his sort of spell rotations and good habits down. So maybe there is some excuse for me, but not much. Some of it's just basic common sense. Okay. I'm quite pleased that we've seemed to have managed to at least work in a little bit of smoke bomb into the thing here, and I'm sure that has helped our survivability some. I don't know what happened there. That was a full multivile and he didn't die. Something weird happened there. Right, and I'm sure most if not all of you who know this quest know this thing as well. Picking up that thing completes the quest, but also summons a whole host of opponents. So the best thing to do is collect the end chest, make yourself a DDO, which I don't have, and then just tap that thing and get the hell out. Because if you don't have the DDO to rely on, and this happens, then you're going to be in big trouble. Fear Reaper at the back there, another Reaper there. I can at least say I've completed, oh my god. Just get the damn Fear Reaper out of the way, we'll go and cuddle him. I tried to give myself a bit of a, still can't kill it. Tried to give myself a bit of a heal. Come on, heal! Oh, the lag. Okay, that was pretty awful too. I think that was basically a shambles as well, wasn't it? Other than the fact we completed it, no different to the last one. Oh dear. All that being said, it is of course on a slightly higher difficulty level than most of the other stuff. Most of the other stuff at this point we were sort of cruising along on Reaper 1, weren't we? So let's not lose sight of that either. The fact that he had been doing Reaper 2 reasonably comfortably up to this stage. They're certainly not. He could and should have died there, in my opinion. Just not good enough. But I was pleased with the smoke bomb use. Between smoke bomb and shard storm, more survivability there. These 3 big hitters, the elemental thing and the 2 multivials, were clearing packs nicely. The flash freeze was doing okay with the crowds of things. Our colour spray, a little bit hit and miss, wasn't it? What's the DC now in Epic? 65 for a late Epic. It's not amazing, is it? You're going to have some misses there, I think. To say nothing of the misses that were just my poor targeting. So yeah, a bit disappointed, more in my own play. I think the character and the build is plenty good enough in the hands of a decent player to do well, but I'm just not at the moment. I'm not getting there with it, so I'm kind of letting the whole show down. But we are almost to the cap. I'll go and have a go at the Stormhorns and probably finish off with I'll take all the sagas and probably finish off with this the remainder of this chain. So maybe it might go a little bit easier second time around, I don't know. Okay, on that slightly disappointed note, I will thank you all very much again for looking, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Take care.